All right, you guys are in for a treat. These are the new Asus ROG Zephyrus G14 and G16. The small one, and then a big one. And the moment I can get the G16 in this platinum white color, or the platinum silver color, I'm switching. This is gonna be the device I'm gonna be using. So when I pulled these things out of the box, I thought these are barely even recognizable as G14 and G16. Like, this is so different from the original product and so much more refined and elegant. I was like, this doesn't even look like a gaming laptop. It's so clean. So this device is in the platinum white colorway, and then below here is the Eclipse gray colorway. And the branding is so subtle. It's just lasered out on the corner here. There's no more holographic badges like they've had in the past. And then there's also this diagonal slash that runs through the devices. This thing is, I love it. I love everything about it. So it's like this reflective metal. And if you get up close to it, you'll notice that there's a series of slits that run along the length of this design accent. And these light up. There's a series of white LEDs underneath those slits, and they shine through. And it looks so cool. The gray color already looks really nice, but then the white, sucker for white colored laptops. So this is just, it's on another level. All right, so the chassis on these devices, so this is like an aluminum top panel, but the chassis is also aluminum, but this is milled out from one block. That's very uncommon when it comes to gaming laptops. The Razer blades are made like that, and it usually jacks up the production costs of these types of products, but it's a single block of metal that gets machined out to make a very clean looking keyboard deck. So we'll come back to this in a second. I want to talk about the displays. So both of these displays use OLED panels. So they have OLED options. This one is the 16-inch. This one here is the 14-inch. Now, OLED, when it comes to gaming panels, it's a debate that's been going on for a while. I personally think that OLED screens are the best panels you can possibly get for gaming. Content creation is a separate question, but when it comes to just straight up gaming, I love OLED. It's got so many advantages. It's got awesome colors, fantastic contrast ratios because the black pixels are just straight up black, but OLED panels do run the risk of having shorter lifespans because of OLED burn-in. Now, on regular laptops, like a productivity-focused laptop, I don't think OLED burn-in is a big issue because like you're not staring at the same thing for 8 hours unchanging at max brightness. But on gaming laptops, it is a risk, right? You're often in-game for hours with unchanging UI elements, like your health bar or like a mini-map that just doesn't change for the entire duration of your gaming session. And you're often at really high brightness. Those are the types of things that can cause burn-in on a traditional OLED panel. But I asked Asus about theirs. They stated that they have a lot of engineering time that's gone into these panels to prevent that kind of stuff. They also have a screensaver that's like a pixel refreshing screensaver, as well as some software tweaks that they recommend to preserve the health of these screens. So hopefully it holds up because these are very nice screens. Now, one thing I noticed on these panels, actually it's with every OLED panel I've ever seen on a laptop, the color accuracy and color gamut tends to shift the moment you play around with brightness, right? So if you really care about having color accurate workspaces, I would lean toward like a regular IPS panel over the OLED technology that's on these. But again, they do offer these devices with regular, like non-OLED screens. Okay, the keyboard. I've grown used to this keyboard. I've used it so much. The one thing I dislike, there's no print screen. Complain about it every year. It's like 4 years now that I've been talking about this. I don't know why there's still no print screen. I use it all the time. It's not the same as Windows Shift S. So there's multiple applications out there that require a print screen. You have to like rebind it. It's a great keyboard, other than the lack of the print screen. This trackpad is massive. It's as big as you could possibly make it on this device, right? Arguably too big, because if I don't disable this trackpad before playing games, sometimes I'll get some misclicks from my palm. So the keyboard also lights up, RGB lighting like you'd expect, but on the left and right are some speakers, and these speakers sound awesome. Like so much better than I would ever expected from a Windows gaming laptop. So both the 16-inch and the 14-inch have 6 speakers in them. There's 2 that are in like this lower area. There's like a force canceling set of them. And then there's a tweeter that fires out the left and right speaker grill. Now, if you've seen any of my videos before, I often rip on Windows laptops just having terrible speakers. It's never made sense to me that they often suck. These are way better and actually sound pretty close to what the MacBook Pros can put out in terms of audio quality. Okay, let's talk about performance. So these two products, the G14 and G16, run 2 different chips. This product here is running the 8000 series AMD chips. These are running the new Meteor Lake chips from Intel, the Core Ultra products. Both of these are very capable chips, but they're not going to be as powerful as the top-of-the-line Intel chips. But the thing to keep in mind is that on the ROG Zephyrus products, These have always been about thin and light performance, and it's so much better that Intel finally has a lower wattage but still high performance chip that can fit in here and power these systems very well while equipping it with high-end NVIDIA GPU. So the G14 can go up to an RTX 4070, the G16 can go up to an RTX 4090. Now obviously not at full wattage, these are thinner systems, but they're still very powerful gaming laptops. Thermal performance and fan noise are already very good, but because these are engineering samples, they could actually get better at the retail launch. Battery life. It does have a pretty big battery, 90 watt hours. The 14-inch has a 73 watt hour battery, but neither of these devices have replaceable RAM. Only the storage can be swapped out. Now in terms of charging it, there's a new AC adapter plug for these devices, and this is it here. It's a proprietary adapter. It is reversible, so you can plug it right side up, upside down, but I think that since the bigger, higher wattage systems are 240 watts at max, and the smaller one is 180 watts, you could have done this with USB-C. There is USB-C power delivery 3.1 that can pump out 240 watts. I imagine the AC adapter for that thing would be very expensive compared to this, right? To be able to handle the right voltage, it would have been more expensive, but who wants a proprietary adapter? Another USB-C port would have been awesome. Okay, quick note about the ports. There's two USB-A, two USB-C. So that's the right side. This is the left side. So they also have HDMI and headphone jack on the left side. But there is a couple differences. Because the bigger product is running the Intel chip, this has Thunderbolt 4. So if you have Thunderbolt peripherals or you need that in your workflow, this one can do it. The AMD product can't do it. The other thing is the SD card slot. So on the big one, you have full-size SD, and on the little one, you have only micro SD. But there you have it. G14, G16, these are so nice. What do you think? Aren't these things awesome? Aren't these the best looking laptops you've ever laid your eyes on? I mean, come on.